Hello, everyone. Hello to all the DIY event planners, project managers, to all the business owners, entrepreneurs, and startups out there. It's Tiffany checking back in from the Right Creative Factory that does business creative development and brainstorming, and from the design division, Tiggy's office, where I use DIY design projects and I help businesses do things for themselves. So I am back again with another live. This time, it's a topic that I feel like could be helpful whether you are a business owner or not, just because there are some apps that make life easier, whether it's business life or our day-to-day tasks as just being an adult and adulting. And so in conversations with friends and colleagues and clients, I've noticed some apps that I bring up they haven't heard of, or there's features of apps that I utilize often that a lot of people aren't aware that those apps have that feature. And so I thought it might be great to go live. You know, I like to continue to share because sharing is caring. And as I go along this journey of building up my business, I do want to send out nuggets here and there to those that are either ramping up their business, have been doing it for a while, but maybe had to shift some responsibilities back to themselves. But for those that are hands-on, this live is for you. And for those that are busy and still multitasking between a day job and building your passion and trying to turn it into a profit, these things can hopefully help make your life easier. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up, a little wave as you come in. I'm going to go ahead and share this to my other platforms, and then we will get started with me sharing the apps. I'm going to share the app and share the benefits that I have noticed from it, and if it's an app that has any type of con, I'll go ahead and let you know that as well. And if there's any cost or any features that have a cost. So we will go ahead and do that. But now I'm about to share. I have not nailed down the time that I will continue to do these lives, just because I wanted to test out a couple of different time slots to see if which time my followers and friends tend to have the most availability to actually get something out of my lives. So I've done evening, I've done morning, and this time we're going to try lunchtime. So I hope everyone has been having a great day. I am just enjoying Savannah still, being a full-time student, a part-time entrepreneur, and a part-time creative. Has been quite fun just to have more time to focus on the goals I have for my life instead of being tied to a desk for the primary amount of my day. Okay, so I think I have shared it to all the necessary platforms, so let's dig in. Apps. Now, a lot of apps obviously do have a desktop version. So if I say app, but it's something that you would want to try to use on your desktop, that is fine. I'll let you know which ones are solely apps and that you wouldn't be able to access on a desktop. So the first one is an oldie but goodie, Google, and sometimes called the G Suite, because with Google doing so many mergers and acquiring so many different things, Google is not just a search engine. And so when you start a business, or even if you're planning an event and you want that event to have its own website or something like that, the first thing that I recommend is making sure you utilize Google, the app. So Google has a lot of different features, and what you may not realize is when you create a Gmail email address for Google, you also are automatically accessing several other features. When you create that Gmail address, you also are getting your own Google Calendar for that Gmail address. You are getting a YouTube account for that address. You can even set up a phone number through that address. You get a Google Drive, you get Google Docs that you can create, and forms. So I'm just going to go through those and how they benefit me. I have my personal Gmail account, but when you also have businesses that have a Gmail account and you create a calendar for those, you're actually able to share calendars. So say a friend wants to go to lunch with me. I can have my business calendar connected, and so it can show me if there's availability during that time slot or not. So I could say, oh, I'm not available for lunch during that time because I see it on my business calendar, and I could just look at them literally side by side, and you can color code them if you want to. I could say, oh, well, I have a meeting with a client during that time. I've enjoyed that feature because sometimes it can get a little busy if I have all of my business appointments and my personal appointments all on one calendar. It's just better for me to be able to compartmentalize and look over here and look over here. I love Google Calendar for that. The reminders are always great, and sometimes I put my to-do lists in there as a way to automatically create a deadline for it. When it pops up on my calendar, I know that's the day that I need to have had it done, or the day that I need to schedule a future date to have it done. So it makes sure that it continues to come up in my face. YouTube is great if your business is one that has a lot of videos involved. If you're a wedding planner and you video events to just show people what your wedding planning services outcome looks like, or if you're a chef, or if you have a business where you are interacting face-to-face with clients and you want to just show a demo of that interaction. If you haven't seen my last live that I talked about the type of videos that you should use in a business, those type of videos, and I'll put a link below at the end of this live if you wanted to go back and watch that one. But those videos also is a great place to have on YouTube. YouTube has public, unlisted, and private settings. So even if it's a video like my first business, Performing Arts Link Up, sometimes our schedules were hard to coordinate, and versus just doing a conference call, I wanted to just send a video memo so they can see my face and I can share the information I needed to share with the team. And if a file is too large to email, and we'll talk about Drive because that's another option to do what I'm about to say. But if the file is too large to email, I would oftentimes upload my video memo to YouTube and make it an unlisted link so people couldn't find it in a search, and only the people that have the actual link could view it. And I would take that link and I would email it out to my team and say, video memo, watch this video, let me know when you've watched it. And so YouTube can be useful in that way for business owners. Obviously, if you have a business that's in the creative, or you have a promo video for your business and then you don't want to just share it on Facebook or on Instagram, and you want to share that YouTube crowd, because some people are avid YouTubers, they only YouTube, and if you wanted to share it with them, you could also place it on YouTube. So don't sleep on YouTube businesses. You might be missing a large part of your demographic by not uploading any of your content, videos, lives to YouTube. Another feature that you have through Google is Google Voice. Google Voice is a way to separate your regular phone number from your business phone. Say you don't have a business mobile or landline and you only have your personal phone, but you want to attach your business phone number to it so that you can give people your business number, but if you don't want them to have your personal number, it can forward to your personal phone, but it would show up as from your business. And so with Google Voice, the app for that, you can connect it to, you can link it to your phone number, you can create a voicemail, and you can even set it up where it will email you a verbal dictation of a phone call that you may have missed. So Google Voice is a really cool app because you can also text and message the business connections that have maybe emailed you or called you. You can open up the Google Voice app and you can text them back. So just like you text on your personal phone, the Google Voice app allows you to text through the app, and the text would be received to them from your business phone number. I love that app for that. Google Drive, we know it's file sharing. A lot of people prefer Dropbox. Everybody has their favorites. Google Drive has been great for me. I love that app. I use a lot of videos with my creative content, and if I shoot something on my phone and I need to get rid of it just to have more space, I upload it to that app. It's another way to file share if you work with a team. The other really beautiful thing about Google Drive is the files, you can make them where multiple people can edit them. Say, I've seen it used at people's jobs where if you are file sharing, I forgot to plug my phone back up. Pardon me, because I don't want this phone to shut off while we are sharing this juicy information. Okay. You can create a spreadsheet, and if several people need to update it, they can. And it also can show you who updated, when, and what they added. And so instead of having to, you have the file and you email it to someone, and then they have to update it and then send it to someone else. Everyone can go in and whatever part they need to update, they can do it at once instead of having to wait for another person to get done with it or try to keep track of, okay, well, what did they do? So that's another nice Google app feature. Probably my favorite right now is Google Forms. It's kind of an extension of Google Docs, which is like the online version of Word or PowerPoint, which Google calls Google Sheets. And with Forms, it's similar to people that do monkey surveys. You can create surveys on there. You can create applications on there. You can even create booking agreements, service request forms. That's what I use it for. And there's even a blurb you can put in the bottom that you checking this means you agree to this serving as your electronic signature. And so it just makes it a lot easier. If someone wants to request my services, I can just send them the link to the Google form I created. They can fill it out. They can put their availability to meet. And once they complete it, it sends me an email and lets me know they've completed it. So I love Google Forms for that. All right, so we're done with Google. I'll be waiting for my check. So if you have any questions, please feel free, even if you watch it later, about the different ways you can use Google G Suite, let me know. And Google is free. All of those things that I listed are free. Those, you don't have to pay any upgrades. The next one I'm going to get into, number 2, the second app, is Asana. That's spelled A-S-A-N-A. Asana is a Asana is a project management app. I learned about this app about 2 years ago. It is my best friend at this point. Whether your company is an employee of one, or whether you have a event and you're an event planner and you have a team working under you, even if you have a group project, if you're a college student, Asana is a great tool. Asana allows you to name a project, put the tasks that are involved. You can assign those tasks to a certain person and a due date and a description for it, and they can even upload things through the project. They can ask questions. You can have dialogue within that project. If the deadline needs to change, you can update it and it'll send them an email that it's changed. As the deadline approaches, it will send an email to you and the person that the task is assigned to remind them. It has to be marked complete, so it'll send you an email to let you know when the task is complete. Me having so many hats, obviously I'm a full-time student right now. I am building the Right Creative Factory in Tiggy's office as part of my small business services. I also have my creative outlets with Devoted Dance Company and Miss Devoted Tiff. And so each of the different ventures I have, they have a separate Asana. And so at any given moment, when I'm working in my time blocks for working on my, what I like to call adult homework, I can just go into Asana and I can see, oh, this is the one I put that needs to be, this is the item I put that needs to be worked on next. So if I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to start, I don't know what to work on next, it has it all categorized for me. Every single task for every single venture It's just there, so I don't have to have it in my head. I write it down if I'm at a random spot, and then when I get home, I put it into Asana, and I put a deadline to it. So then it keeps me on track. So whether it's just you or a team, Asana is a great, very user-friendly project management tool, and that is also a free app. Third app I'm going to go into, a lot of people know about, a lot of people have heard, I'm still going to tell you why I love it, MailChimp. So MailChimp is useful for a lot of reasons. MailChimp, for me, I love that it allows me to store my contacts, and it allows me to have a structured way of following up with potential business leads, with my personal contacts like my friends and family, and also it allows me to create a newsletter or any type of way I want to communicate with them through the program. It's very user friendly. The main way I use it now is through Miss Devoted Tiff. I email my friends, family, people I've met at networking events, and I let them know what's going on with me. Last month I attended this went well, this did not go well, I created this content. And so I create the newsletter, I insert whatever images and links I want to, and then the email goes out. Another reason I love MailChimp is because all the business cards you may collect, which I'm actually going to talk about 2 apps in one. I keep a virtual copy of all of my paper business cards, and I'm just going to show you right here how many business cards I have, and this isn't even all of them. This isn't even all of them, but there's CamCard, CamCard, and I promise I'm going to show you how this ties into MailChimp. I'm not jumping all over the place, I promise. CamCard, you can, instead of having to type in every single contact into MailChimp, because it asks for, their name, email address, phone number. If you want to tag it and categorize them, how you know them, how you met them, it allows you to do that as well. So if you ever email them, it can be included at the bottom of the email. Why is this person emailing me? And it can have a little blurb down there that if you're receiving this email, it's because I met you at Pizza Hut. It can get that specific if you want. So with CamCard, instead of having to type all of that into MailChimp, you can literally scan the business card. And when you're done scanning all the business cards, by the way, with CamCard, you can also categorize as well if it's a beauty industry business card, or if it's a caterer business card, vendor business card. When you're done, you can actually export out of CamCard into a spreadsheet. I take that exact spreadsheet and I can upload it into MailChimp or import it into MailChimp. So I don't even have to type at any point, basically. It's scan, download, upload, done. So I do appreciate how those 2 apps can work together that way. So MailChimp, I can store those contacts into a spreadsheet. I can categorize them. I can email them. The other thing I don't like is that I do like about MailChimp is if it's someone that, hey, I'm getting too many emails, I don't live in that city anymore, I don't work for that company anymore, so when I met you and I give you my company email, that's no longer accurate, they can just unsubscribe. It doesn't have to be where they have to feel uncomfortable sending you a nasty gram and saying, please remove me. And you don't have to feel awkward like, oh no, they don't want my emails anymore. They just hit unsubscribe. So it keeps it a lot more professional. And it saves you time because you don't have to go back and log into the app, go find their email, unsubscribe. The MailChimp app does it all for you. MailChimp is also one, and sorry, I forgot to say for the earlier 2, so I'll go back. MailChimp is available online, and it is available as an app. Asana is the same way, as is Google. The last thing I want to say about MailChimp is you can track your traffic. You can see who opened it, and who opened it and just read it, or who opened it and actually clicked on a link that you placed in it. So it's really cool because you can kind of see if you're trying to build your followers or build your traffic, it'll help you build your avatar. And so you can say, okay, well, I noticed that mostly men are opening the email and interested in what we're saying, or only women between this age and this age. So now I know who is listening. Now I know who my demographic is. Now I know how to cater better to my audience. So far, we've had the Google G Suite, Asana, MailChimp, and Camcard. So I told you 5, but as always, I like to give a bonus, so it's actually going to be 6. So another app, and this one is actually the first one that only can be accessed as an app. It cannot be accessed as on desktop, is WhatsApp. Now, if you are from the Caribbean, which is how I've always heard about WhatsApp, and it's spelled WHATSAPP. So it's kind of a play on what's up, but it's WhatsApp. I love that. And so WhatsApp actually is interesting for a few reasons. One, if you do any international business, or if you're considering doing any international business, through this app, you can call and text and send files for free to international phone numbers. So again, people that have family that are international use this app. That's how I heard about it. But that's another benefit to it. The other thing that I love about WhatsApp is the ability to search through messages. Now, one flaw I've noticed with Apple, you can iMessage, but if you're trying to find a message that has a certain word, like say, oh, this person reached out to me about pizza, and I put in my chat search the word pizza, it will only take me to the last message that has the word pizza in it. If they said it 3 messages ago, guess what? I'm out of luck. With WhatsApp, you can do a chat search for any text messages that were sent in the app, and it will show you every single message that has the word that you put. So it'll show, say, again, using the example of pizza, if that word has used within that conversation, has been used 10 times, it'll say 10 messages, and it'll let you arrow up to every single message that has that word, which has really come in handy for me before, because I always am trying to go back and find things, even if it's a note I sent to myself. So I love the ability to search multiple messages for the same word, not just the last message that I used that word. So again, WhatsApp is great for international business communication and for being able to keep track of past messages. Also, it's really great for larger files. There are certain files that have even been too big to share through Facebook or been too big to share through text message that I can share through WhatsApp. So I highly recommend that one. The last one, which if you have multiple revenue streams you're working on building like I do, you may really appreciate. This app is called TextMe, TextMe. And I appreciate TextMe because I have 5 phone numbers, my personal, and then 4 for my business and creative platforms. So we mentioned Google Voice earlier and how you can have a Google Voice phone number for every email address you have through Google. The only downside to that, which I learned the hard way last year, is it will only allow you to attach 2 Google Voice phone numbers to an actual real phone number. So when I tried to create a third Google Voice number and it asked me which phone number of mine I wanted to attach it to, and I put my phone number, it flagged and it said, this phone number is already in use twice. The max number of times you can attach a Google Voice number to a phone number is twice. So it's like, oh, well, am I just going to have to get all these cell phones for all these different phone numbers? That just doesn't seem economical for me at this point, especially since I'm still in the phase of growing and building my traffic. And so I found another app called TextMe that also gives you a phone number, same as Google Voice, but it doesn't actually attach it to your phone. It's just open on your phone. So if someone calls or texts that number, because the app is open, it'll still alert or ring like it is my phone, but it's not attached to my phone number. It's just attached to the physical phone itself. So I was able to create 2 more phone numbers to have all 4 that I needed for my businesses. Also still able to customize voicemail. With Text Me, it is also one that you can only use on your phone and not a desktop version. It is free. However, to keep the phone number, you have to use it once a week. So I just set my reminder to make a call from it or send a text from it once a week. If you want to not have to worry about that, then you have to pay a monthly subscription. I believe it is $7.99. And with that, you can customize it a lot more. You also don't have to worry about any pop-up ads as you are inside of the app. So that is also an option to have. So those are the apps that help me with my biz life. They have been a lifesaver, help things be more time efficient, and just makes my business life easier and on a budget, because we all have one, whether it's big or small. So I hope this information was useful. Like I said, I love to share because I know everybody's on that journey of trying to do the glow up, and not everybody is in a position to hire people to do all these things for them. And a lot of us are out here DIY and doing it yourself, using apps and using your own research and using the school of YouTube videos to learn what you need to learn and do what you need to learn how to do until you're able to either hire someone to do it, or if you continue to like doing it yourself, you know how. You don't need anybody to do those things. So let me know if there's any apps that you use. I would love to hear. Let's share information. I am going to kick these lives up more because I have more time, and I'm continuing to learn. I'm continuing to do my research about all the things I need to do to be successful. And I thank you for coming on this journey with me. We're going to look around in a few months, and all of us are going to be to that next level. We just have to believe it, affirm it, and do the work. And you can say you were on my journey with me when I was on my lives and I had maybe like 100 views. But as I continue to apply the things I learned about the traffic, as I continue to be consistent, it's going to grow. And I hope that you grow with me in the businesses that you're working on. So thank you again. I'm going to post the link to the 4 types of videos I recommend. And I haven't decided what my next live is going to be about. I am leaning towards, because some people have been coming to me about understanding why they even need to do videos for their business, or tips for making those videos, or tips for how to get over the anxiety of getting in front of the camera and doing what I'm doing. So I might just give tips for businesses and videos, not just the type, but more about the strategy and the delivery. So look out for that, and I will catch you next time. Again, if you watch on the replay, say hello, don't be shy. Bye.